From a life rooted in church traditions to embracing the oneness of Allah, our brother's journey to Islam is nothing short of extraordinary. Guided by faith, he and his siblings found truth where they least expected it. This is the inspiring story of a family transformed by Islam.
My brother said, "Why did you do that? Why did you become Muslim? We're Christians. If you feel like you're going through difficulties or you feel misunderstood, remember this. When I reverted to Islam and my family did not accept it, I always reminded myself that I used to be just like them. I used to hate Islam. When people asked me about Islam, I would tell them to stay far away from that religion, as much as possible. Now, as a revert, I can't understand why I would ever say something like that. I remember when my brother came to me angry and said, "Why did you do that? Why did you become Muslim? We're Christians." And I thought to myself, yeah, there's no way he would ever convert. But he ended up being the first one to take his Shahada. And not only that, inside of the church, in secret. And after that, my 3 sisters followed. Sometimes the difficulties you're going through might just be the part of their journey to the truth. Okay, so what has led to my Shahada? I'm not going to talk about the specific doubts I had as a Christian because that would just take way too long. I will try to do that in different reels, but this video will specifically be about my Shahada, the moment I became a Muslim. So, shortly about myself, I was a 16-year-old kid, I was a Protestant. I used to go to the church every single week. I used to go to Bible studies weekly. And one of the things I used to do when I went to school was bring my Bible and also talk to people about Christianity. So I used to always bring my Bible in my backpack to school. I used to read it during break, and I used to talk to other kids, because I was 16 years old, about Christianity. Some of my friends actually became Christian through me. There's one specific brother that I used to be very close with, who became a Christian. I invited him to church. He also became a Muslim, I think a year after me. So as I said, I used to be someone who talked about religion a lot at school, but I know that there was also someone at school who used to do da'wah, and he used to talk to people about Islam. I personally never talked to him. Now, what happened was, during the exam period, one of the things that the school used to do is they used to put the students in the dining hall, and they used to basically mix different students and put them on one table. I think they did that so you wouldn't cheat on your exams. Now, what happened was that the school put me and him together at the same table. A lot of things that I did is I took out my Bible, because I always had my Bible with me, and I put it on the desk. And he saw that, and after he finished his exam, he asked me, "Can I have a look into your Bible?" And that one interaction, when we started to talk about Christianity and about Islam, was really the starting point for me, where where my eyes opened on Islam. So I am a revert of 5 other reverts. So I reverted to Islam 10 years ago. After that, my 3 sisters reverted to Islam, and then also my older brother reverted to Islam. And it's a crazy story because it's like 10 years ago. There's a lot of stuff that happened. A lot of the stories I will be telling you guys on my social media, but there's this one specific story that actually happened before I reverted to Islam. And not like when I was 15 years old, like 1 year before I reverted, but like maybe 3 years before I reverted. So I was around 13 years old. And I remember, so we grew up in the Protestant church. And a lot of times, like every year, they wanted us to like sing a song in front of the church. So the children had to sing a song in front of the church. And the children that were selected was me, my brother, and also my 2 sisters, because one of my sisters wasn't born yet. So they wanted us to sing a song in front of the church and build like a scenario or a dance or like some type of presentation around the song. And I remember that we were sitting down, we as siblings, we were talking to each other, and we were thinking, okay, so which scenario are we going to use? And for some reason, this song was about worship. And we basically decided that every time that the song speaks about prayer, we are going to put our faces on the ground as a type of worship. Now, keep in mind that we never learned to pray like this. Like us as Christian, we never learned to pray like this. My parents never saw us pray like this. And I remember that when we were in the church, we were actually doing the song and we were singing in front of the church. We prostrated on the ground to put our faces on the ground. And the people were looking at us like, what is this? What are these kids doing inside of the church, And I remember that there was this one person that came to us and said, "Oh, you guys are praying like the Muslims." And it never crossed my mind what he meant, because I didn't really know much about Islam. I didn't really know what he meant. And one of the strange things as well is I didn't even know that Jesus prayed like this in the Bible. So this was like purely us as young kids, for some reason, putting your face on the ground as the perfect way to show worshiping God, you know? And then you have these Christians coming to us and say, oh, you guys pray like Muslims. And I remember later that I found out that Jesus actually also prayed like this. So like really interesting. And this is for me one of the signs of the fitra, you know, the natural disposition that you have. It's just something inside of us that told us that this is the right way to pray. So this is one of those crazy stories. I have a lot of other stories of me having signs of Islam before I converted to Islam.
To support and follow our Revert brother's journey, check out the link to his page in the pinned comment and video description below.